The flashback that opens Yellowstone Season 5 Episode 3, Tall Drink of Water, features a chaotic scene at a conference between irate ranchers and a table full of officials, including Montana Livestock Commissioner John Dutton. Dutton just returned from his property where he compared the size of the attacker's footprints versus the width of his hand. The area's cattle herds have been seriously threatened by the distributed wolves, but the government official not only fails to acknowledge the evidence, he also makes a serious respect-related mistake. Dutton used to grumble, "You don't know me well enough to call me John." Dutton is still at odds with the current administration of Montana, despite the fact that he is now in control of it. As she departs the ranch house for a meeting in Salt Lake, Beth breaks up his gloom by expressing they share everything. Do you recall when Beth told him about her initial trio? He refuses. But before we go any further, Beth also advises John to find love while he still has it. She sheds a few private, silent tears in her sleek, smoked-out Bentley for her deceased mother. Hey, Lloyd's birthday today. Age is just a number for a salty senior ranch hand, so there is a lot of ball-busting in the bunkhouse as Walker, Ryan Bingham, and Laramie, Hassie Harrison, emerge shyly from the shower. Rip and Carter share a wonderful moment when the latter is feeding a cute young calf. If Carter wants to become a cowboy, he better buckle up because you're going out every day. But when two fish and wildlife officers arrive and start grilling Rip about federally protected wolves, a specific plague of rogue radio collars, and GPS pings on the Dutton Ranch property, Rip's morning takes a less family but equally bull-busting turn. The arguments Rip makes about poachers and alfalfa hay seem rather tenuous. In a meeting with Chief Rainwater and Mo brings plenty, who inform Case and Monica that their kid had a horse spirit. 4 days have passed since the passing of baby John. But dying is also a personal matter. It's possibly the only thing we do by ourselves, says Rainwater. No matter how many people are nearby. Grieving requires solitude, too, so Mo holds Case back as Monica shaves off her long braid and falls on the ground sobbing. You have to let her handle it. It's our method. Let her mourn. Case shows up to inform John that he can't serve two goals at the same time as he continues to mull over how to carry out a job he doesn't want and how to best serve his family and state without being selfish. He surrenders his badge as the livestock commissioner, his dad's previous position to which he was appointed. Case refers to Monica as my choice. I decide between my son and her. Beth has decided to engage in combat. She makes a pitch to Rob Baldus, Aaron Laser, at Schwartz and Meyer in Salt Lake about selling him her $300 million controlling stake in the company, but he's looking for a rattlesnake in the deal. Indeed, Market Equities is pursuing her through a number of lawsuits. However, Market Equities is also Rob's main rival. Doesn't he want to screw them over a little bit? That is certainly tempting. Deal is signed by Rob. Beth is the rattlesnake, and Market Equities will feel her teeth as soon as she buys the property and the accompanying conservation easement. Carolyn Warner reiterates her request that Ellis destroy Beth and the Duttons at me. The Schwartz and Meyer agreement weakens the fancy lawsuit he just gave Jamie, but Sarah Atwood won't be adversely affected. Bear in mind that she too has fangs. Sarah is exempt from all regulations, Carolyn wisely advises. Let her go, I said. Speaking of Jamie, Yellowstone is at its most majestic on the moment of their first encounter. After receiving notice of the Me lawsuit, the Attorney General strikes back hard, mocking its abrasive language and prancing around about postponing action environmental research. While Ellis sulks and behaves like the victimized loser, Atwood remains silent. She's keeping an eye on her prey. She gives Jamie a compliment and a business card, saying, "You're better than I imagined." With its tangle of shattered goals and twisted allegiances, Atwood has already penetrated Jamie's brain. The location of Atwood's actual play will be during the dinner they've scheduled for the upcoming episode of Yellowstone. Beth is prepared to run through a wall after the reptile savagery of her big money, tough tactics deal in Salt Lake. She forces the entire crew to go to town in the Crystal Bar by interrupting Lloyd's birthday celebration in the bunkhouse. Rip shivers. Somehow, this will turn ugly. Ryan and Abby soon start dancing, while Abby, Lainey Wilson, is performing at the pub. When Beth places her business card down, a round of whiskey shots and Coors banquets are served. Before a drunken visitor called Hailey, Ashley Platts, flirts with Rip and calls attention to his wife, the Dutton Ranch crew is good timin' and honky-tonkin'. Beth then slams a shot glass into Hailey's side of the face 2 seconds later. There follows a wild brawl in the bar. Beth strikes Hailey once more. She does not smile until she is seated in the rear of the sheriff's car. Rip finds it hard to think Ramsey will actually charge Beth with severe assault since Hailey is still bleeding nearby. "It is now your concern," he says. "Lloyd, happy birthday."